So this right here is Poway Powersports, which is where I purchased my Duke 390. And it's a nice little dealership. They did me real good, got a good price. So I just wanted to stop in and say hey to the guys during the whole Corona. Oh yeah. Oh, no battery. Just gonna walk across the way here and check out some of the other bikes. I don't see the guy that sold me mine anywhere. Ooh, is that an 890? No, that's a 1290. Oh, it's so sleek. It's so sick. What's going on, man? Did you guys get any 890s in? Of the 890? Oh, you did? I just wanted to come take a look at one in person. Yeah, they're like so similar. Oh, there it is. Yeah, right here. Steve's not in today, is he? Steve? Is it Steve or Dave? I think I get him mixed. Who's the older sales guy? Okay, it is Dave. I keep thinking his name's Steve. Look at the tires on it. Oh, that's so sick. 890 Duke R. Oh, I need to unzip my jacket. It's so hot. Do I have a battery? No, it doesn't have it. Look at all these Super Dukes just waiting to get bought up. Oh, man. I like the GT. I don't know why. I feel like the windshield would come in handy for sure. What's going on, man? Good. Yeah, I'm keeping my mask on. What's going on?
How you been?
Good. Bike's treating me well so far.
Everything's good?
Yeah, yeah. I've actually done quite a few mods on it.
What have you done?
Did a Competition Works mini cat delete. Did the Kuber air high flow airbox lid, and it's got a Powertronics ECU in it now. So it's got a lot more torque than it used to. I mean, I've only put like 800 on it since I got it still because of this. So, you know, normally I'd be going back to work.
Down at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mainly stopped in. I wanted to see the 890R in person since I saw those just came out. But it's pretty. I mean, discernible difference between the 790 and it is not so much, but you can see like that it's definitely track ready compared to it. The brake upgrade, the tires. Yeah. You have a demo? All right, so that was Dave, the sales guy who sold me my Duke 390. I was just speaking with him about the 890, just wanted to check it out in person, take a look at it. And they actually offered, if I give them a heads up, they'll let me come in and demo the 890. So that could be a possible future video here soon. I'm actually digging this RST visor a lot. The tinting on it is like perfect for a nice bright sunny day like this. Everything is super clear through it. Super happy that I bought it. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning back in. If this is your first time here, this is MotoMedicine, where I do vlogging videos and how-tos on my current motorcycle, which is a 2018 KTM Duke 390 or 390 Duke, whichever way you want to say it. If you clicked on this video, you probably read the title, and today I'm going to go over the 5 things that I love about my KTM 390 Duke. So for this ride, I'm taking you back up into these beautiful hills down here in Southern California. Alright, so we're going to do this in ascending order. I'm going to start with my 5th favorite thing about my 390 Duke, and that is the brakes. For a sub 400cc bike, this thing probably has one of the best front brakes that I've had on a motorcycle of this size in a long time. I've owned 2 previous Ninja 250s, a pre-gen, a new gen, and then I've also owned a Ninja 300, which are going to be the bikes that I can really honestly compare this category of bike to. And by far, this is the best front brake that I've had on a motorcycle of this category and this size. It's strong. It has great feedback, and I've had little to no fade issues with it. The only issues I've had with the front brake is the front rotor can be a little bit squeaky when it's cold when I first start riding, but it usually goes away once the rotor and the brake pads have warmed up a little bit. On top of that, something to notate about these brakes is you get standard ABS with these 390 Dukes. A lot of other motorcycles are making that optional, and yes, a lot of people would rather have the option of being able to choose whether they have ABS or not, but honestly I prefer to have it, because when those moments come up and those moments arise where you might hammer on those brakes a little too hard, it's going to be really nice to have that. I will say that I have, for one, have not found the ABS to be intrusive. As of yet, I have never even had it kick on. So in my opinion, to get something like ABS as a standard option at this price point, which is right around the $5,000 mark if you're buying brand new, I think that's a phenomenal value. So getting into the 4th thing that I love about this bike is going to be the handling. This bike comes in somewhere around the 330-pound range wet. That gives this bike such a light, nimble, and quick handling. It's very beginner friendly. It's easy to whip around. And in my opinion, that makes it great for back roads with sharp turns. It also makes it great for beginner riders who might not be ready to push a heavier bike through corners. So this, in my opinion, is an awesome beginner bike. And not only that, it'll keep amateur and pro riders plentifully entertained with its handling characteristic. Oh, that's a beautiful spot for a picture. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful picture. So the third thing that I absolutely love about my KTM 390 Duke is gonna have to be the styling. This bike is an absolute head turner. Everywhere you go, you're gonna get looks on this bike. From the vibrant paint scheme, to the trellis frame, to that sharp pointy headlight. This bike is an absolute head turner. I could never really put into words how much I enjoy the styling of the KTM Duke lineup. All of them. The 390, the 790, the 1290, they all look incredible. My second most favorite thing about my KTM 390 Duke is gonna have to be this thing right here. The full color TFT display. Not only is it vibrant and easy to read even in direct sunlight, and I love the fact that it shifts between a white background during the daytime and a black background during the nighttime. It has so much functionality built into it. Just by tapping on this button over here, I can get to my Trip 1 presets and I can see how far I've gone on this tank of fuel, my estimated range left, my current mileage, so 62.6 miles per gallon so far, my average speed for this trip, and then how long I've been riding for this particular tank of gas as well, which currently is 2 hours and 12 minutes. And I have an estimated fuel range of 74 miles left. Not only that, but you have the optional Bluetooth for KTM's MyRide built into this motorcycle, so you're able to connect your Apple or Android smartphone, and you can receive phone calls, answer phone calls, you can reject phone calls, and you can also control your music with any participating music app that's on your smartphone as well. So if you have a Bluetooth headset device, you can pair both of them to the motorcycle, and using your onboard controls here, you can do all of the above that I just mentioned. I think one of my most favorite things about this display is how you can go in and change your shift light setting. So if you notice, as I raise the revs, the TFT will begin to change colors. And at a certain point there, it begins to blink, and it lets me know, hey, it's time to shift, or you're gonna hit that rev limiter. And you can change the RPM levels at which you want these things to engage. On a bike at this price point, you probably won't find that anywhere else. And I think that really sets the Duke apart from its competition, is how much functionality you get for the money. It's absolutely insane. And finally, we come to my absolute #1 most favorite thing about my 2018 KTM 390 Duke, and that's going to be the engine. Coming into this motorcycle, I kept telling myself, man, I'm really not sure how I'm going to feel about a single cylinder engine. I've heard nothing but terrible things about them since I've owned a motorcycle. They're buzzy, they sound terrible, they vibrate your legs and your arms off. Nothing but terrible things. And boy, was I proven wrong when I took the test ride on this motorcycle. The amount of torque and how soon it comes on in this engine is absolutely phenomenal. It's like nothing I've ever felt on a bike of this caliber before. Now, coming from my Ninja 300 directly onto this motorcycle, it doesn't surprise me that I was surprised by how much low-end punch this motor has. The way that those two engines deliver torque are completely polar opposite. The parallel twin is designed to make peaky high-end horsepower with a bunch of revs. And honestly, the only downfall to this single-cylinder engine is not being able to get this thing up and singing at 13,000 RPM quite like a Ninja will. honestly, if you're just getting started and you're trying to decide between, say, this bike and a Ninja 400 or a Yamaha R3, I think that this engine is going to give you the most user-friendly power. You don't have to wring it out to really get it to wake up. And in my eyes, that makes it a little more beginner-friendly than the other. Also, on top of being a nice, punchy engine, this thing also gets really good fuel economy. I've been averaging about 60 miles per gallon since I bought this thing. And that's going through about 800 miles since I bought it. So that's a good 4.5 tankfuls that I've put through it. So anywhere between 55 to 60 miles per gallon is what I've attained so far. Now mind you, I'm riding mainly on the highway, so I'm not going to get quite as good a gas mileage as somebody who might just be putting around, say, 50 miles per hour and under. I've got my bike on the highway at 75 to 80 miles per hour where it has to work a little bit harder and use a little more fuel. One thing I do also kind of want to say while I'm here is if you're a bigger guy like me, I'm 6 foot tall, maybe just a hair over, and I'm 230 pounds, and you think that a bike like this isn't going to be enough for you, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Is it going to rip your face off? No, but you can still have a lot of fun on this bike, and I fit relatively fine. I don't feel cramped up. As a matter of fact, I feel less cramped up on this than I did on my Ninja 300 and when I sat on a Ninja 400. The riding position on this is a little more upright than those bikes, so you're a little more spread out. I also like the placement of the foot pegs. It still feels like a sporty bike. So if you're a bigger person, a bigger guy, do not be afraid to buy this bike. And I really urge you to go to your dealership and either test ride one if they're willing to, or at least just sit on it for like 10 minutes or so and get a really good solid feel for it. Make sure you move yourself around on the seat and find the right position for you. This bike does have a tendency to lean you kind of forward into the tank, but if you scoot back just a little bit, you'll find that sweet spot. So if you enjoyed the content, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.